And 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Tryin' album just got certified 6 times platinum in the United Kingdom. That got 50's attention, and he jumped on Instagram to react. 6 times, not bad for one territory, followed by a row of clapping emojis. Then a user commented that no rapper from this generation will ever pull those kinds of numbers. And that's when the correction came out immediately. Drake has done exactly that.
You are absolutely clear to burn that mother down, bro.
Affirmative.
That one comment alone sparked nearly 100 replies debating Drake, and somehow not a single person in that thread stopped to verify whether the claim was actually true. Everyone got so caught up arguing about whether Drake even qualifies as a rapper that they completely forgot to fact-check the original statement. Because in reality, Drake has not done it. Take Care is Drake's most certified album in the United Kingdom, and it sits at 3 times platinum. Meanwhile, 50 is standing at 6 times platinum. So no, Drake has not done that. The thread also took some shots at T.I., and for good reason. The best T.I. has ever managed in the UK is a gold certification with Paper Trail. And even Rick Ross caught some heat in the comments, with one user from Scotland pointing out that nobody in Scotland knows Rick Ross, which made it the perfect moment to revisit the 50 Cent versus Everybody series, this time measuring UK certifications. And the numbers aren't even close. 50's most certified album is lapping the entire opposition combined. Rick Ross hasn't earned a single certified album in the UK, not even a silver. His most certified song over there only exists because of Drake's Money in the Grave. Internationally, the opposition simply cannot compete with 50 Cent. It's almost unfair to even draw the comparison. Now, before we get into Kendrick's associate landing in hot water over his Iceman review, Drake dropped 3 new albums on the same day when fans were only expecting 1. The predictions going in were 450K plus for Iceman, 130K for Maid of Honor, and 100K plus for Habibi. The official Billboard numbers just came in. Iceman landed at 463,000. Habibi came in at 114,000. Maid of Honor hit 110K. The predictions were pretty close, and the numbers set a new record. Drake becomes the first artist to simultaneously hold the top 3 biggest albums in the United States in a single week since Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's top 3 came following his 2009 passing, and those albums weren't even eligible to chart on the Billboard 200 at the time due to catalog rules. The Game reacted to Drake's first week numbers on his Instagram stories. I remember who said what about who when they thought it was what it wasn't. Some praised The Game for staying consistent and not switching up on Drake. Others pointed out that it's only a matter of time before The Game ends up beefing with Drake, because historically, The Game ends up beefing with everyone. Hard to argue with that track record. Some even flipped it further, noting that despite all the public support, The Game doesn't appear on a single one of those 3 new albums. According to reports, Drake has allowed The Game to use his private jet on a couple of occasions, so a flip probably isn't coming anytime soon, at least not while the favors keep flowing. But time will tell. Meanwhile, Eminem is getting quietly shortchanged by Billboard's technicalities when it comes to #1 albums. Drake has now officially tied Jay-Z's record for the most #1 albums by a rapper in Billboard 200 history. For both Drake and Jay-Z, collaboration albums count toward their totals. The Drake and Future collab albums count for Drake. The Jay-Z and R. Kelly collab albums count for Jay. But when it comes to Eminem, Billboard's technical rules don't count Hell the Sequel toward his total because it was released under the Bad Meets Evil name. Same situation applies to the D12 albums. If collaboration albums were counted consistently across the board, Eminem would be sitting at 15 #1 albums. And finally, it's unclear exactly what Kendrick's associate DJ Head did to his co-host, but she was not letting up during their Iceman review. It started when he tried to downplay Drake's frustration with LeBron James for switching up on him, and things only got heated from there.
screams that you haven't faced certain adversities in your life to understand nuance. Nuance meaning, yeah, there are some people that are your ride or die, we gonna go down with the ship together, and then there are some people who are not. And either way is okay. It's up to you to understand and accept how people want to participate in your life. Now, again, I don't have any inside information. Maybe LeBron told them that they were blood brothers, or they, die hard, ride or die, whatever their bond was. But I don't necessarily subscribe to that ideology as a man who's about to be 40. Is like these people turn their back on me because they chose to participate in these moments of those things. Now,
how would you feel if I went and did a show with academics while he's dragging you?
It depends on, to be honest.
I want you to be honest as a human.
As a human being, I would just be like, with academics, I'm synthesizing. I wouldn't feel it. I wouldn't be taking offensive.
Cap.
Okay.
But I also have a different mindset when it comes to certain things. Like I don't internalize many things. So
how do you think the average person would feel about something similar?
Oh, they would be hot. They would feel betrayed and all kind of things like that, right?
Okay.
But that's my point is I can't. That's why I keep saying me. Like I'm not speaking for him. I can't relate to that. So that's
why it don't matter how we feel.
I agree.
It's his art.
I agree with you. I'm just going through the critique of what I'm saying. So those are the things that I personally can't relate to, that I don't subscribe to, which turns me off of certain instances of the song. But for the most part, it's a solid Drake album.
With everything you just said is the same thing that people were saying with the whole like him playing the victim and things like that. Mm-hmm. Expressing yourself on your album is not the part that's corny to me. It's everything else that happened before the album, after Not Like Us. That's corny to me.
Which is what?
Lawsuits and the backpedaling and the whole I don't even want to get into all of that, but that's the stuff that turns me off, because like the point that you made, you engaged into this, you asked for this. I remember him saying drop. I remember the stay on stream comment. I remember all of the things, all of the and then if the story is true that it was you asked for all of this, and then when it got too deep, it was like, oh, hold on, this not what I didn't think you was gonna do this. But it's like you asked for this energy. I don't have a problem with artists expressing themselves on albums. It happens, but it's like when Drake does it and it's like it's victim and things like that, but it's like, well, this is my experience.
And DJ Head's co-host Gina was actually getting some respect in the comments. A lot of people tend to write her off simply because of her association with Head, but many viewers pointed out that she's consistently been fair when it comes to Drake. Her only real issue with him centers around the lawsuit. Outside of that, she's either on his side or neutral. And by all accounts, Drake is actually her favorite rapper. Not all Drake fans think the same way, and Gina is proof of that. But the real backlash came when a specific clip hit social media and started spreading fast.
Like he let the battle get the best of him and things like that. So if that's been my experiences this whole time, then that lets me know you're in full transparency. We kind of been waiting on him to say something about, LeBron and J. Cole and, whatever. And it's like, now that we got the album, you are venting about what your experience has been in these past 2 years, which is normal for rappers. Now he is victimizing himself.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with the victimizing stuff, because that's what people do on albums. What makes it bad to me is the shit that you did after you asked for this. If you listen to any Drake albums, all he's doing is venting. Every Drake album, he's venting, he's flexing, he's telling you about the bitches he fucked, he's telling you how much money he spent. That's what he's doing here. This is the same as any other Drake album to me. The difference now is that we got 3 projects, but before it's like he been doing this crying shit. That was the critique of him early on, is he cried too much. That's why in my tweet I said, this old Drake to me. And I don't think Drake is getting enough credit for giving something to each specific fan. One thing that people say, I like when he rap. All right, here you go, a rap album. I like when he talk to the bitches.
Yeah.
All right, here go R&B album.
Yeah.
The international shit that we don't like. But if he would have gave us one project with 3 albums combined, we wouldn't have got half of these songs. And then we would have been complaining, oh, it's too much girl shit. Okay, he rapping right here, but I need more of that. Oh, here he go with all this international stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it would have been so much.
And while some Drake fans pushed back on the narrative, pointing out that Drake never asked for the battle, never told Kendrick to come at him on a Metro Boomin record, and simply chose to respond rather than let it slide, the broader context tells a more complete story. Because the truth is, Kendrick and Drake had been trading subliminals at each other for years before any of this became public. The real breaking point just happened to arrive the way it did. After J. Cole lit the fuse with those bars on First Person Shooter, Kendrick got fired up, and the rest is history.
Controversial because on one side, I've gotten that he's intentionally trying to drive a wedge between LA and the Bay. I don't buy that. I don't subscribe to that. The Bay and LA, we fuck with each other. I'm not contributing to that conversation or narrative that there's gonna be like you're not gonna do that with me or my platform.
What you're saying, you don't believe that he's doing it, or you're saying it's impossible to happen?
Nothing's impossible. I'm not participating in that though. In that narrative of like yeah, well, the LA shouldn't support that song because it's him. It's like no, you want to hear the records, play the records. I don't like it. Don't whatever, cool. But for the DJs, I'll say this: for the DJs who feel conflicted, if you go to DJhead.com, I have an edit of Too Hard for the Radio that you can play without disses in it. It's just a DJ Head edit that you can play free of charge. You can download it. Go to DJ.
What did you remove?
He said something about mustard. He said something about, forgot. It was like a couple things he said. I don't remember the bars, but I just remember it was like some little slick shit that he said. So those things have been removed, and you can play the DJ Head version free and clear with guilt free.
Who's the targeted consumer for that song?
For my edit, for the DJs in LA.
Because we don't want to disrespect mustard.
Because people feel conflicted about playing a song that's taking shots at the homies. This one doesn't have that.
It's a little contradiction.
Why?
The people who wouldn't play it. Yeah, because when did we ever give a fuck about just taking shots at each other and them? Because we'll play some shit from LA taking shots at. It's from LA.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, yeah. I get what you're saying, 100%. But I made the edit, so it's there for you to